Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on today's video. Today I thought we would talk about how we can make better and more educated purchases online. I personally find it so amazing that we have access to handmade and luxury goods made by super talented artisans from across the globe at the click of a button. We all know that online purchasing and online shopping is the future, and although we do still have those brick and mortar stores, online purchasing allows us to access different goods from across the world. And you know, being in a pandemic right now, this is something that still allows us to be connected through fashion specifically, since I am, you know, talking about fashion on this channel, but it allows us to be connected to those crafters and artisans across the globe in ways that we probably couldn't be if online purchasing wasn't a thing. But when it comes to sustainability and being intentional with our purchases, there are specific things that we can consider and look out for before we, you know, vote with our dollars online. So today's video is in partnership with Farfetch. I have done a previous video with them on this channel before. I do have a discount code for you guys, and this discount code is applicable to brand new items on their website as well as the pre-loved items that are available through the exact same site. So the code is Haley10YT, stands for YouTube. I'm going to put it right here on the screen for you, and I'm also going to include it in the description box down below. So before I jump into the amazing initiatives that Farfetch has going on, I do just want to briefly talk about the things that we can consider before we make purchases online. Obviously, when we are purchasing items for ourselves, we're essentially voting with our dollars. But, you know, even before we go into that, I do want to note that it's important that we actually reach out to the companies who need to do better. Instead of just purchasing from the sustainable and more conscious and intentional brands, it is very important that we also work on the other end with the companies and brands that are not doing so well and are maybe turning a blind eye to the things that they could be doing better. We can do this by direct messaging them on social media, tweeting at them, sending messages through Instagram, sending them emails with the problems that are going on in the industry. And so there are two different sides to this. One of them is voting with our dollars and supporting the brands and companies that are working to make a difference in the world. And then the other side is, like I said, reaching out to the ones that aren't doing so well so that they too can make changes for the better. So just briefly, these are a few things that we can consider before we do make purchases online and also in general, but this is definitely specific to purchasing online. So the first thing is considering what we already own. Sometimes the most sustainable thing to do, oftentimes actually, is to just use what we already have and to buy less. Another thing that we can consider is how much carbon emissions are actually involved in the process of our purchase. So if we are purchasing from a company that sources all around the globe, we need to consider how much carbon emissions are actually involved in the whole process of shipping and, you know, possible returns and getting the product from point A to point B. And there's a lot more to talk about on this topic, which I'm going to touch on later on when we talk about Farfetch, but that is definitely something that we do need to consider when we're purchasing online. The next thing we can consider is a brand's sustainability rating. So I have talked about this before. I love the Good On You app and website. They have a brand directory where you can search up pretty much any brand you want, and they have a rating scale where they measure brands on sustainability in terms of the environmental impact on social, so society, people that are working for companies, and then also for animal cruelty. So that's definitely another very important thing to consider before we make a purchase. Another thing we can consider is whether or not an item that we are looking to replace can actually be fixed so that we can prolong its lifespan instead of buying something brand new. Oftentimes in our society, we look at an item that maybe has a hole or has a little tear in it and we think, oh, okay, I need to go and get a brand new one because this one is just completely done now, when we can actually be repairing those items and elongating their lifespan. And it's not natural for us to think of that anymore because we're in such a consumer society where, you know, buying something brand new is just the thing to do. So considering whether or not an item can be repaired before replacing it is definitely something that we can do to make more intentional purchases. And lastly, we can consider how we can contribute to a circular economy. So if we are looking to buy something brand new, then maybe it is possible for us to get rid of something that maybe we don't use as often anymore in order to buy another item with those funds secondhand. So working in the circular economy means that we are, you know, prolonging the lifespan of our items and making sure that they're continuing to be used. So one great way is by, you know, selling off, for example, a designer handbag if we're looking to buy a new one. And with those funds that we might earn from selling it secondhand, we can then go and buy another new secondhand bag that we like even more and that we know we're going to be using more often. So now I would love to talk about how Farfetch is actually working to become the global platform for good in luxury fashion. I think that's so amazing, so futuristic, and it's amazing because they're actually doing things to make this happen. And it is evident on their website, it is evident in the codes of conduct and the policies that they have available for all of their customers to actually view. And so today I just want to go briefly through all the things that they are doing so that you can be more educated about exactly what you are buying into when you purchase from their site. Okay, so the first thing that is available for customers to use on the Farfetch website is the positively conscious filter. So basically, Farfetch has teamed up with Good On You. As I told you guys, they are a sustainability rating agency, and they are, I'm pretty sure they're like a leader worldwide for rating brands on sustainability in the fashion industry. But essentially, this filter will show you exactly which brands and products are positively conscious. So on the website, the large brands must score at least a 4 out of 5 on the Good On You's rating system to qualify for, you know, being labeled as positively conscious. And then the smaller brands have to get a 3 out of 5. And essentially this just leaves room for growth, especially if the companies that are a bit smaller don't have as much funds to, you know, enforce these new sustainability initiatives all at once. And I think that's a really great way to just show us consumers how these brands are working to be more sustainable and to keep the environment, social aspects, and animals in mind. So as 2 examples of exactly what brands are included in this positively conscious kind of filtered list on the Farfetch site, Farfetch did send over 2 different products for me to show you guys. So the first one is actually from Germany. It came from a boutique and she included a handwritten card. Let me grab it. So this goes along the lines of, you know, being connected to these people across the globe, which I think is really neat. And it supports their boutiques as well, right? So this is a Stella McCartney bag. It's from their new season collection. It's got this beautiful like rose gold metallic underneath the holes of the bag. It's quite spacious. It's a very soft bag, very lightweight. So it's great for everyday use. And Stella McCartney rates it a 4 out of 5 on the Good On You rating scale. So they are definitely up there in terms of sustainability. She actually just created the world's very first garment made out of mushroom vegan leather, which I thought was really, really cool. So if you haven't checked out Stella McCartney, definitely go and click on the link down below in the description box because she has got some really amazing stuff and she really just shows the world, or she has shown the world, that you can have luxury goods that are sustainable. And then the next product that I have here is actually from Veja. So you guys may have heard of them before. They're a really cool sneaker brand, and I've been wanting a pair of Vejas for a really long time. So I'm really grateful that they sent these ones over. I absolutely love the design of the sneaker. They have got dozens of different styles that you can figure out which one you like best. But for me, you know that I love a plain white sneaker, and I thought this was a really cool kind of upgrade from my Air Force Ones. I'm actually selling those ones, and so I thought I would just bring in a new sneaker, the one in, one out method, you guys know, because I wanted something that was a little bit more mature and sophisticated, but still had that like sporty, athletic feel to it. So I thought this was a great alternative. It is the V10 leather sneaker, and Veja also scores at a 4 out of 5 on the Good On You rating scale. So they're definitely also up there in terms of sustainability. And this pair of sneakers was actually from Italy. So again, you know, we're staying connected to those boutiques from across the world. We're supporting smaller businesses, which I think is really neat. And it also just enables us to get access to the products in sizes that are maybe sold out in North America. For me, with a smaller foot, I often cannot find my size in any shoes, sneakers especially, because everybody loves sneakers. So being able to access that sizing in another boutique from across the world is really, really cool. Another thing that Farfetch offers is called Farfetch Second Life. So essentially this is their secondhand platform. It's within the exact same website, and I touched on this. Basically, customers can actually sell their used handbags, luxury handbags of course, and then they get credit to purchase from the Farfetch website. So again, it's just working in that circular economy to make sure that items are being reused and loved again and again. One more thing that Farfetch does is they have a program called Farfetch Fix, and essentially they are partnered with the Restory, so they actually allow customers to send in their items that are damaged or need some repairing, and they're able to get these items fixed so that they can continue to be used. And I touched on this as well in the beginning of the video. This is a great way to make our items last longer and to just get in the mindset that we often have everything we need already. It's just a matter of really taking care of those items that will enable us to continue using them. And last but not least, Farfetch realizes that their biggest impact lies within their shipping and returning procedures. Obviously, when you are conducting an online retail platform, you're going to have shipments going across the world globally all the time. They've also got a free returns program in place. So, you know, that's just a lot of packages going back and forth. They realize that this is where they have the biggest impact, and so they actually have made a commitment to reduce and balance out these carbon emissions. So they reduce their emissions through more efficient packaging. They use more and more renewable energy. They continue to do that in their offices, and they also ship more pieces through bulk in their fulfillment network. They are signed with the United Nations Fashion Charter for Climate Change, and they're committed to reducing their greenhouse gas emissions globally. To offset those carbon emissions of shipping, they invest in independently certified and verified environmental projects to balance out the carbon impact of deliveries and returns. The projects that they help fund are verified to Gold Standard American Carbon Registry or the Verified Carbon Standard, and you can also find more details on what projects they do fund on their website. So I think that Farfetch is a fantastic example of how an online retailer and brand in general can really make a positive impact when it comes to sustainability and educating customers on the ways that they can be more intentional about their purchases. And there you have it. That is how we can make better, more educated purchases online as consumers. Farfetch is a fantastic example, and they are definitely leading the way when it comes to considering sustainability and a circular economy in the fashion industry. If you found this video helpful or if you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below because I do post every week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.